Hello everyone. So we are going to start the part 4 of the unit distillation. So here in this unit we are going to cover a few of the equipments which we have already studied used in the process of distillation. So let's start. The next instrument in this list, it is a vacuum distillation. So now the thing is that as the name itself, it represents vacuum. So vacuum means absence of air. So here we are going to use a vacuum pump to start the process of distillation. But why it is used? The thing is that, see, the distillation process in which the liquid it is distilled at a temperature lower than its boiling point by application of vacuum. So we all know that, see, for the distillation to take place, the water need to get boiled, right? Now, if we apply the vacuum to that liquid, what means whatever liquid we want to distill, if we apply the vacuum, then what will happen? The vapor pressure will go down, right? So in such process, at the lower temperature, we can start the process of distillation. So vacuum pumps, suction pumps, etc. are used to reduce the pressure on the liquid surface, which we are going to distill, right? Now the thing is that the distillation under the reduced pressure, it is based on the simple principle of distillation with some modification. So what is the principle behind the vacuum distillation? First of all, you see the liquid boils. We know that the liquid boils when the vapor pressure it becomes equal to the atmospheric pressure, right? Whenever the vapor pressure of a liquid it becomes equal to the atmospheric pressure, the liquid is to boil, right? That is the pressure on the surface. Now if the external pressure is reduced, if the external pressure, that is atmospheric pressure, is reduced, how we are going to reduce the atmospheric pressure? By a simple application of vacuum pump. So if the external pressure is reduced by applying the vacuum, the boiling point will be lower. Means earlier, if we want to, or if a liquid have a boiling point at 100 degrees centigrade, now it can be reduced to 50 degrees centigrade, right? Just let us take one example. I will show you how it takes place. So you see, the liquid boils at a lower temperature, and the principle it is illustrated by using the example of water. Let's take the example of water. See, water, we all know that it boils at 100 degrees centigrade at the atmospheric pressure, which is almost equal to 760 mmHg. This is the normal one, right? Now, at 40 degrees centigrade, the vapor pressure of water is almost equal to 70 mmHg. At 40 degrees centigrade, if we heat the water to 40 degrees centigrade, the vapor pressure of the water it becomes 70 mmHg. What is the normal atmospheric pressure? It is 760 mmHg. So now, if the external pressure, which is earlier 760 mm, if it is reduced to 70 mmHg by using a vacuum pump, what will happen? The water will start boiling at 40 degrees centigrade only. Thus, you see, by applying the vacuum or by reducing the external pressure, the water can be now heated at a very low temperature. So now the net result, it is the increase in the rate of mass transfer into the vapor. So the mass of the vapor which is formed, it is found that it is directly proportional to the vapor pressure of the evaporating liquid. The mass of the vapor which has been formed, mass of the vapor or amount of the vapor which has been formed, it is directly proportional to the vapor pressure of the evaporating liquid divided by the external pressure. So here in this case, simple, you see, according to this formula, the water is allowed to evaporate at 40 degrees centigrade, right? As we have bring down the pressure to 70 mmHg. So now you see, and at 70 mmHg, the mass transfer is almost 11 times. How? Vapor pressure of the evaporating liquid 760 divided by external pressure which we have applied 70 degree, right? Thus you see, it is the very efficient way of heating, right? Now you see assembly of the apparatus. So how this vacuum distillation apparatus it is made. So this is the overall apparatus, right? So you see it consists of a distillation flask. This distillation flask it is also known as the Claisen flask. Why it is known as Claisen flask? Because it is double neck. One neck is present here, another neck is present here. So this type of distillation vessel it is known as the Claisen flask, right? The thick wall glass apparatus with interchangeable standard glass joints used for this vacuum distillation. Thus, we have come to know that the quality of the glass it is very good in this type of apparatus, and they are generally thick in nature. So now, you just see the arrangement. I will show you. In one neck of the Claisen flask, there is a thermometer here. In one neck of the Claisen flask, there is a thermometer just to measure the temperature of the vapor which is produced, right? And in the second neck here, in the second neck, it prevents the splashing of the violently agitated water. This second neck actually it prevents the splashing. As the heat it is given here, the water will start splashing, right? Thus the second neck it helps or it prevents the splashing of the water. Here you see a water bath is connected. Through this water bath, this water which is present in this Claisen flask is heated. I'm using the term water, but you can use or you can write it as a liquid. So water bath it is used to boil this liquid, right? So now bumping, as the liquid it starts boiling, bump will form during the process of vacuum distillation. So what is the use of this neck, second neck? So you see in the second neck we have placed one capillary tube. Why we have placed the capillary tube? A fine capillary tube in the second neck it actually prevent the bumping. How it will prevent the bumping? Whatever the bubbles it will form during the time of heating the liquid, it will escape out through this way. The air it will get escape out through this way, right? So you see the capillary tube which is dipped in this boiling liquid, it is made in such a way, or it is arranged in such a way so that the air bubbles can be drawn out via this capillary tube. Now the water or the oil bath can be used. Generally we use a water bath to heat the liquid which is present in the Claisen flask. Now this Claisen flask is connected to the receiver. This is a receiver. Here this is a receiver. This is the receiver. It is connected to the receiver through a condenser. It has to again pass through a condenser. This arrangement it is similar here as that of the simple distillation apparatus, right? So the vacuum pump it is attached. Here we are going to attach a vacuum pump to the adapter. Here you see to the adapter before it reaching the receiver. So a small pressure gauge can be also attached here just to check the pressure. So a small pressure gauge should be inserted between the pump and the receiver. Clear? So application, where it is applied. So it is generally used for application in the preventing the degradation of active constituent, because we all know that the plants they generally have the active constituent. From this plants part we used to separate out the active constituent. Generally this type of vacuum distillation apparatus are used, as because in such distillation apparatus we can lower down the boiling point. If we lower down the boiling point, the active constituent they will be prevented from degradation, right? Next, it is used for the enzymes like malt extract, pancreatin preparation, right? Vitamin preparation like thiamine and ascorbic acid, glycoside like anthraquinones, alkaloids like hyoscyamine to atropine. These all are produced by using this apparatus. What is the disadvantages? So in vacuum distillation, actually persistent foaming occurs. Continuously foam occurs in the vacuum distillation. So this foaming it can be removed. How it can be removed? By simple using the capillary tube. If we use the capillary tube, this capillary tube will try to take out all the water bubbles which has formed the liquid which is being heated. out to the environment, right? So this capillary tube is generally placed in the second neck of the glacial flask. Moreover, the stream of the air is drawn in and breaks the rising foam, right? Thus, this above method is not suitable for preparation of semi-solid. We cannot use the vacuum distillation for preparation of semi-solid or solid extract by distillation under the vacuum. Thus, this is all from the vacuum distillation. Next, we are going to the next part. This is the molecular distillation. So here we are going to have some theories. First of all, right? See, molecular distillation. It is, or it can be defined. What is molecular distillation? It can be defined as a distillation process in which actually each molecule in the vapor, each molecule which is present in the vapor phase, they need to travel a mean free path. After traveling a mean free path, these molecules, they get condensed individually without getting collided with other molecule. These molecules which are present in the vapor phases, they will get condensed individually without colliding with other molecules. So molecular distillation, it is generally based on the principle of simple distillation with some modification. So this is also known as the evaporation distillation or short path distillation. Why short path distillation? Because here the vapor, it generally the path from the earlier equipments what we have found, the vapor, it transverse a longer path while reaching the receiver. But here from the means area where the vapor has formed to the condenser, the path it is very short, right? Principle. The substances to be distilled using the molecular distillations, they should have very low vapor pressure first of all, right? So examples like the viscous liquid, oil, greases, waxy material or high molecular weight substance, they are generally preferred to be distilled by using the molecular distillation apparatus. Next, that these substances generally boil at a very high temperature, right? So in order to decrease their boiling point, if we want to decrease the boiling point, what we are going to do? Simply we are going to apply the vacuum. Thus the pressure exerted by the vapors, I repeat, the pressure exerted by the vapors above the liquid is much lower. The pressure exerted by the vapors above the liquid is much lower. So at the low pressure, the distance between the evaporating surface and the condenser is approximately equal to the mean path of the vapor molecules. I am trying to make you understand this thing once again. See, the pressure exerted by the vapors above the liquid is much lower. Why it is much lower? Because we have used the vacuum. So now when the pressure is low, at the very low pressure, the distance between the evaporating surface of the liquid and the condenser is approximately equal to the mean free path of the vapor molecules. What is the mean free path? It is a path that has been transferred by a molecule before changing its form, right? So see, the molecules leaving the surface of the liquid, whatever the molecules still leave the surface after getting boiled, are likely to hit the condenser which is present nearby, right? The molecules after hitting, it will leave the surface of the liquid, it will hit the condenser wall, right? Now each molecule is condensed individually in the molecular distillation and the distillate is subsequently collected. So application where it is used. So molecular distillation, it is used for purification and separation of chemicals of low vapor pressure. As I have already mentioned, what are the different types of chemicals which have low vapor pressure. So it is also used in the purification of chemicals such as tricresyl phosphate, dibutyl phthalate and dimethyl phthalate. It is more frequently used in the refining of fixed oil. Whatever the fixed oil we used to get, in the refining of the fixed oil, this molecular distillation process can be done. Vitamin A separated from the fish liver oil, it is used, or it can be done by using this molecular distillation. Vitamins is concentrated by this method from the fish liver oil and other vegetable oil. Free fatty acids are distilled at 100 degrees centigrade. Next, your steroids can be obtained between 100 and 200 degrees centigrade. Triglyceride can be obtained from 200 degree onwards. So the proteins and gums will remain as non-volatile residue. Thus the above mixture can be separated by molecular distillation. Now the theory. See, I already told you the mean free path of a molecule. So what is the mean free path? Simple. The average distance through which, I repeat, the average distance through which a molecule can move without coming into collision with other or another. Mean free path means the average distance traveled by a molecule without coming in contact or without coming in collision with other molecule. It is the mean free path, right? So the mean free path can be expressed mathematically with an equation. The mean free path, it is denoted by the lambda, right? So lambda equal to eta square root of 3 divided by p rho. So where this p, it is the pressure, right? So the rho, it is the density, we know that. The eta, it is the viscosity, and lambda, it is the mean path length. So for example, the mean path for heavy molecules of butyl phthalate is about 30 millimeter, and for olive oil it is about 20 millimeter when measured at 0.1 Pascal. This is the mean path for this molecule. Now the mean path can be increased. If you want to increase the mean path, by decreasing the viscosity. If we decrease the viscosity of this molecule, then the mean path can be increased, which can be, now how we can decrease the viscosity of any liquid? Simply by applying higher temperature, because we all know that the viscosity is what? Viscosity is, it is the resistance to flow. Thus if we want to increase the viscosity, just increase the temperature. Sorry, if we want to decrease the viscosity, just increase the temperature or lower the pressure. Thus the non-volatile substance may become volatile and distillation is possible. So here in this case we can apply the heat as well as we can lower the pressure just to increase the mean free path. So requirement for the design of the equipment. This is a equipment I have shown you. The name of the equipment, it is centrifugal molecular distillation still. So here you see the evaporating surface, it must be close to the condensing surface. So which is the evaporating surface here? In this equipment, this is the heater, right? This is the evaporating surface. This part, this is the evaporating surface. This bucket like structure. This is the structure, it is shown in the bold arrow, right? This is the evaporating surface. It should be close to the condensing surface. If it is the evaporating surface, it is close to the condensing surface, which will ensure what? See, the closeness of evaporating surface and condensing surface is ensure that the molecule to come in contact with the condenser as soon as they leave the evaporating surface. Once the molecule will leave the evaporating surface, immediately it will come into contact with the condensing surface, right? So for this reason, this process is also known as short path distillation, as because once the molecule has evaporated from these vessels, the lower vessel, immediately it will come in contact with the vessels, is kept above this, it means the condenser. So the amount of distance or the path length of the distance traveled by the vapor from this evaporator to the condenser is very less. Thus it is also known as the short path distillation method. So the molecular collision should be minimized here because they change the direction of the path of the molecules. So here we need to minimize the molecular collision. How we can minimize the molecular collision? Just increase the mean free path, right? So in other words, the intermolecular distance should be fairly high, and it can be achieved by using high vacuum, as we have already stated regarding the manipulation in the mean free path. How to increase the mean free path? By increasing the temperature and by bringing down the pressure. So here we are going to increase the intermolecular distance by simply using high vacuum, usually in the order of 0.1 to 1 Pascal vacuum is applied. So the liquid surface area must be as large as possible. Why? So that the vapor is evolved from the surface only, not by boiling. So here see, the surface area is very large. The surface area of the liquid is very large, as because it is put in this part, right? So the liquid surface area must be very high so that the vapor is evolved from the surface only, not by boiling. So once the vapor it has produced here, it will immediately come to the condenser, right? So this type of process, it is also known as the evaporation distillation. So thank you everyone for your patience hearing. If you like the video, just press the like icon. You can share this video with your classmates and colleagues, and for further notification from this channel, do subscribe my channel. Thank you once again.